Ay, ay, die, die, die. Ya, die, 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 die. Ya, die, 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 die. Ya, die, 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 die. Ya, ya, da, da, ya, da, da, ya, da, 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 ya, die. Ya, da. Ya, die, 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 die. Yada die die yada die 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 yada die die yada die die yada die 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 ya yada die yada die yada die 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 yada die die he die die yada die 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 yada die die yada die 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 dum ya da da ya da da ya da 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 ya da 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 he da dum ya da 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 dum ya da da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya ba ba ya ya yada da yada da yada da 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 dum yada da da he da da I yada da he da yada yada da 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 yada da da yada da da yabba yada ya yada da yada da yada da da yada yada da da he da dum ay ay da 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 ya da da ya da 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 dum ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 dum ya da da ya da da ya da 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 ya da 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 dum הנה אל ישועתי אפתח ולא אפחד כי עוזי בזמרת אדוני ויהי לי ישועה ושבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה לאדוני הישועה לעמך ביחדך סלע אדוני צבאות עמנו משגב לנו אלוהי יעקב סלע אדוני צבאות אשרי אדם בוטח בך אדוני הישועה המלך עננו ויום קוראינו ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר כן תהיה לנו תהיה לנו ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר כן תהיה לנו כוששו אשא ובשם אדוני אקרא אדוני אקרא ובשם אדוני אקרא lekram. Yai dai da 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 da, ya dai da 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 dum, ya da 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 da, ya dai da, ya dai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen, borei peri hagafen. Dai 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 dum. Dai 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 dai. Ya da da dai 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 dai. Ya dai 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 dai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei minei v'samim, borei minei v'samim. Yai dai da 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 da, ya dai da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya dai dam, ya dai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei miorei haesh, borei miorei haesh. Yaidam ba yada da da da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavdil ben kodesh lechol, hamavdil ben kodesh lechol. Eliyahu hanavi, Eliyahu hatishbi, Eliyahu agiladi, bimera v'yameinu, yavo aleinu, imoshiach ben David, imoshiach ben David. Shavua Tov, a good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. May there be blessings. May there be abundance. May there be a call to safety. May there be peace. May there be return of the captives this week. Havdalah is that time where we separate using our senses the taste of sweetness of wine, the scent of besamim, of spices, the light and reflection of the braided candle. The separation, realizing that Shabbat is a gift, Shabbat is something else that's not our typical. And when it ends, we hold on to a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of light, a little bit of the fragrance that is. And so we hope for a good week for all of us. And then, of course, what does that mean? It means it's time for another day, another chance to count the Omer together like we've been doing for 25 days. Yesterday was the marking of halfway. We're halfway there. And so the only part of halfway there that's good is that means we are that much closer for the arrival of the twins. So that makes my wife super happy, as it's getting harder and harder to do all of the things, or most anything. And so here we are with gratitude. What is our gratitude for today? I'll share two, and maybe you want to share one or two in the chat. How beautiful that would be. So today, after morning Shabbat service, I went to the city and performed or was part of or was a witness to or officiated, whatever word you want to use, a baby naming of a 5-year-old girl who wasn't named when she was a little baby. But it was kind of sweet because it was something like that she really wanted, and she was able to take part in it, and how beautiful that was. And so I did that. So I was grateful for the opportunity. It was a woman who I met at a funeral that said, "Oh, I really wish that you did baby namings." And I said, "I do." Then I saw her at the unveiling, and a year later, and she said, "We really need to do this." And so I was able to be part of that today, which was beautiful. And then secondly, this afternoon when I got back finally, I took Ellis and Sophia to Heckscher Park, which that is not something, that's something great that we could share time together, but we put kindness rocks that were decorated rocks by our Hebrew school students and a couple that Ellis did, and we placed them all around Heckscher Park so that people could find them, especially since they're tearing down the playground. It says, who would tear down a playground in May and say it's going to take 2 months to complete? Could they have not started this project earlier when there are so many people in our community that have no one to really watch kids, take them to certain events, whatever? A public park, and a nice public park, is a place where anybody can go. Those that have and those that don't have. Kids that are going to camp and kids that can't go to camp alike find, beautiful parks in the neighborhood to play at. And so this is going to take 2 months, which we know that means it's never done on time, even if we want to be as optimistic as possible. And so, whatever. But something that struck me was Sophia wanted to give the rocks to people directly, which I thought was fine. And other people, and Ellis wanted to put them in places where he's found rocks, which was great. And then Ellis saw this little old man sitting on the bench, and he wanted his rock that he created, which was a little smiley face that he made me put a heart on the side, and it says, be happy on it. And you could tell this was a lonely old man, like a little disheveled, but nothing crazy. Not a homeless man, but an old man. And he was sitting there watching the turtles. And Ellis ran up to the guy and handed him the rock. And he said, "This is for you." And as we were walking around the park, we kept looking and checking in on this man, and he kept looking at his rock. And he said, "Oh, be happy." And he kept repeating it. And it was so sweet to see, the light that a young child can bring to anybody, really. A couple of other people he stopped on the benches to hand rocks to. But it was just a beautiful opportunity to be grateful for, like, the little things. Like, he's not running away from an old man, which, I don't know, even as an adult, sometimes I feel like I'd want to run away from. Elderly people are harder to, I don't know. They're the easiest to approach, I think, but sometimes we have most hesitation. So that was beautiful. Samantha was able to help a friend who just came home from the hospital. Beautiful. Running an errand, well, that's always good. And if you could run an errand by yourself and it runs smoothly, it's even better. So if you have anything, gratitude that you want to share, please share it. As we move forward, we are going to count the Omer together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ruach haolam, asher kidshanu, b'mitzvotav etzivanu, al sfirat haomer, al sfirat haomer, al sfirat haomer, al sfirat haomer, hayom shisha v'esrim yom, shehem shlosha shavuot, v'chamisha yamim, laomer. Today is day 26. This is the 26th day, totaling 3 weeks and 5 days of the Omer. Here we are over the middle of our Omer counting. As a reminder, we're in the week of Netzach. We're in the week of endurance and fortitude, ambition, persistence, perseverance, confidence, eternity. And today is the day of Hod. This is the 26th day, Hod Sheva Netzach, gratitude within eternity. Gratitude is humility, is simplicity, is awe, is glory. Day 26. We open to whatever is unfolding in our lives and reach for gratitude. There are so many things that happen in our lives, and sometimes we can't see where the gratitude, where being grateful lies. Some things unfold and we just scratch our heads like, shouldn't be, or this isn't great, or, I don't see the good in this. I don't see where this could be for me. I don't see where there's anything positive in here. But gratitude, and looking for gratitude and searching for gratitude and finding gratitude, helps lift us beyond our pain, beyond fear and beyond doubt. And so here's an 8-year-old version of this. Today, my nephew Georgie, he's like a baseball guy. I mean, both my nephew, well, there's a lot of nephews, but the two 8-year-olds are very sports kids. One plays baseball and soccer, the other plays soccer and baseball. So one has the passion for baseball, one has for soccer, and Georgie plays for the junior Long Island Ducks, and there's a tournament today. He goes out to the tournament. He slept home last night, not at Rabbi Jay's. He gets up early, he goes out there, whatever, and barely into the game, something happens to his shoulder, and he can't play. Never mind, he can't play. He can't move. So he has some hypermobility issues, and so whatever, my sister rushes him to the urgent care. They push him into Zwanger really quickly to get him seen, to get him evaluated, whatever. And even though he couldn't play, and even though his spirit was in the toilet, he was able to see the gratitude that it was just a but it was a hyperextension, Motrin and ice, and, return when you're feeling, no pain and you're strengthening up. But even though he didn't play, he went back. He went back to sit and watch his team. And they won. And they're going to play in the semifinals tomorrow. And it was like, even though he knew he couldn't play, he was still able to see and to feel, to witness this sense of gratitude. Beyond his own pain. Beyond the fear of like someone else is going to play my position. Or beyond the pain that was going to say, the doubt that was going to say, oh, we're not going to win. Not because he wasn't playing, just because, every tournament comes with that. When you're 8, it's different than when you're, in high school, when you're like, we're going to win no matter what. The attitude is different. So sometimes it's hard to feel gratitude when we're not feeling well, when the weather is bad, when a situation is out of our control and doesn't go the way we want it. But gratitude helps us find the strength to stand in the moment and figure out the path forward. Gratitude allows us to stand in the moment and to look ahead. Gratitude reminds us that, like, hey, we made it this far to day 26. Some of the days were easy. Some of the work is hard. Some of the work is still left undone. But we're still here. We're here in this moment of gratitude. We're here in a place that says, hey, this work isn't easy. Because guess what? Life isn't easy. And if anybody tells you their life is easy, they're lying. Because even simple things like driving on the LIE isn't simple, right? There are things that are so routine, mundane, but they're still not simple. There are things that go wrong. There are aggravations, aggressors. There's all kinds of things that go on in life. But if we rewind back to things that are more simple, because Hod Sheva Netzach, Hod, the sphere, the meaning, the characteristics of Hod often have to do with simplicity. And you know what? Being grateful should be simple. But being grateful also comes with a lot of weight. And sometimes, you know what? I can't feel the gratitude. I can't see it. None of us can. There are moments in time where we're like, how could we be grateful in this moment? But when we realize and we feel the gratitude and we see what it could bring forward, we're like, oh, that's helping us in our mission of Netzach, in our mission of endurance and persistence and perseverance and reaching the end, winning. That's where we are. We're in Hod Sheva Netzach. We are in the moments of simple gratitude, realizing that, hey, the qualities and the strengths that we have, they're not our own. They are our connection to the divine, which help us see that there is a higher purpose for us. I've shared this in years past, and it pertains to our practice for today. Our practice for today says to give thanks before you eat. To say thank you when you see something beautiful. When you experience a moment of connection in whatever way that is. Rabbi Jay used to go to a retreat, which was at Alat Chaim. Now it's, I think, Isabella Friedman it's called. And there were different places where you could eat. Different sections of how you could eat, almost. And one of his teachers, Rabbi Dan Siegel, one of those, Daniel, used to eat in silence. He would get his food. He would go sit and eat. He would give thanks before. He would eat his food. He would give thanks after. And he wouldn't say a word. And Rabbi Jay has tried this with him in that place, other places at home. And there's something to be said for eating in silence. I mean, I like conversation. I like long meals. A lot of people hate that. But more importantly than the quiet silence is the idea of giving thanks before you eat. It's said that even if some robber would come and take your food away, at least you were thankful for whatever part of it you got. So maybe that would change our focus instead of, this meal was so good, but now I'm bloated, I'm fat, I'm stuffed, I can't eat for nothing. All the things that we say because we're so poisoned by society is the usual. But instead, why don't we try today to give thanks before we eat something? When we see something that's beautiful, to be grateful, to say thank you for that. Experiencing the moment of connection with whatever that is. Giving thanks for everything that the day is going to bring tomorrow. How does gratitude feel? How does it show up? How do you hold on to it in your physical body? That's the work. I feel it's an easier day. Maybe we just got over the hump, so we have an easier day today. Give thanks before you eat. Say thank you when you're seeing something beautiful. Experience a moment of connection. Give thanks for whatever the day brings. Noticing how gratitude feels in your body. I don't think this one's so hard. I think it's one that we can all come back tomorrow night and say, we did it. It wasn't so bad. Psalm 26 on day 26 says, I will see the world through the eyes of love and generosity and walk in the truth they reveal. I will give voice to my gratitude and speak about the wonders I behold. I think we can all do that because I will speak to the idea of gratitude. I'm giving voice to gratitude in this moment that all of you continue to show up here so that I'm not counting alone, so that we're counting on one another. We're being counted upon. We're counting together up towards betterment, something that says, hey, this world is so shitty, but we're here for it. We're not giving up. We're trying to better ourselves in order to better the world. And we will continue through tradition, through spiritual practice, through counting this Omer. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you, and we're going to see you back here tomorrow night, not in the morning tomorrow. I couldn't anyway. I probably could, from the cemetery. I have 2 funerals and an unveiling tomorrow. And so, let's make tonight a restful night. We wish each other Laila Tov. We wish each other a beautiful Sunday. Let's hope it's a beautiful one anyway. And we'll see each other back here at 9:30 tomorrow night with an opportunity to say, you know what? I gave thanks before I ate. I said thank you for showing me something beautiful, for connecting, and for feeling gratitude in my heart and in my soul. Thank you for being here. Bet and Ira, Samantha and Donna, Linda, Dawn, Rachel, Amy, whoever else is out there watching that didn't check in. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow. 9:30 tomorrow night. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Od Avinu Chai.